Hi, I am Niperson Borses from BSN2A, and for today's video, I'll be demonstrating 3 Laro ng Lahi games. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first game that I'll be demonstrating is the Lusalus, or the general equivalent of the Nine Men's Morris. The Lusalus is a strategy game to practice the logic and problem solving for 2 players. So what we need is a board game. So I printed the game board and 9 pieces of small coins and another 9 pieces of small coins also. So we can use the stones, bottle cup, or any other small objects. So to get started with the game, we have to toss a coin to decide who goes first. So the front of the coin is the player 1 and the back of the coin is the player 2. So the player 2 goes first. So players alternate placing pieces at unoccupied intersections. So these are the intersections that the players should put the pieces. So player 2 will put the pieces first, and the players alternate placing pieces at unoccupied intersections. So these are the intersections that the players will put the pieces. So 3 similar pieces in a row or a column make a meal. So this is a meal. And by completing a meal allows a player to capture an opponent's piece. And the captured piece may not be played again. So let's get it into the trash joke. And a piece cannot be captured from a meal unless no other pieces are available. So here, the player 1 will have to capture the piece that is not, that have not made a meal. So once all 18 pieces have been played, players take turns moving the pieces. And the pieces may be moved along the lines to any adjacent open spot. And also, a meal may be broken and reformed several times. Watch this. So as you can see, player 1 wins the game. Because player 2 has no legal moves or it has only 2 pieces left. And that's how you play the Lusalos or the Nine Men's Morris. The next game that I'll be demonstrating is the Dama. So let's get started. A dama or a Filipino checkers is a traditional Filipino game that is played on a wooden board with a diagram. So the materials or the equipments that we needed to play this game is the board game and the pizzas or small coins, small objects, stones, or even the bottle cap. So if the board is not available, so a diagram may be drawn on the ground, a tabletop, or it can be printed like this. So we also need the 24 pieces of pizzas. So we have 12 each for each players. So the objective of the game is to capture all of one's opponent's pizzas, and especially the queen. And every move is always forward to an intersection, but never backward, unless capturing an opponent's pizza, and for the queen also. So the first player moves his pizza to an intersection, and also the other player moves his pizza, and any other player eats or capture an opponent's pizza that stands in the next intersection by jumping to an empty intersection behind it. So like this. So let us watch how to play the game. And then you can also capture more than one pizza, like this. So now we have a queen. So we're going to change it into a bigger coin to indicate it is a queen. So as you can see, the player with a white coin succeeds in making one of his pizzas, which is in the first line of the opponent's side. So he gets a queen or a dama. And the queen is the most powerful piece on the board, skillful, and use of the queen is the greatest asset in winning the game, and it can move in any distance. Like in a straight line, it can move forward and backward, and as far as the path is clear, and she may eat or capture any opponents exposed to her, which is in a direct approach, and the player who succeeds in eating or capturing most or all of his opponent's pizza wins. So watch us play the game. So as you can see, player with white coin wins the game. And that's how you play the Filipino checkers or the dama. Okay, so the last game that I'm going to explain is the taguan, which is hide and seek in English. So it is ideally played in the countryside where there are a lot of places to hide, such as bushes, trees, or even inside the house. And the hide and seek is very popular in the Philippines. So not only on the Philippines but also on the other countries. So, to play the game, the it or taya is tasked to locate the other players, but before that, he or she has to count numbers from 1 to 10, 20, or depending on the agreed counting among other players, and lean his or her face to a post or any surface while covering and closing his or her eyes. And then after the counting, the it or taya would start finding the other players within the vicinity, and the game would be over after all the children are found. And the player who is found first will be the new it or the taya in the next round. So without further ado, let's get started demonstrating. So watch me how to play the taguan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Game? Game na? Bangkitan, 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 bangkitan.